Back to another edition of the Net Report podcast. I'm your host, Mike Broadbent. Joining me once again is my co-host, Richie Schneiderite. Very special guest on the program, Rutgers senior guard, wing. What would you consider yourself, Aundre Hyatt?
Guard.
Big guard?
Big guard, yeah.
Big Cinco? How'd you get that nickname, by the way? That's just something that kind of like came natural?
Yeah, one of my friends from high school, I had posted a picture when I had changed my number to number 5. And he just started calling me Big Cinco, and it just stuck.
Nice. Well, speaking of that, you're entering your sixth season of college ball. You've kind of stepped into a leadership role, seemingly in your final season at Rutgers. Just talk about what responsibility you have, or you feel you have for bringing on these young guys and carrying this team this year.
I just feel like the biggest thing for me and for the team is going to be just being consistent and showing up every day with workers' mentality and just living with the results, just staying consistent, being in the gym, getting shots up, and just being a great teammate.
So we got to talk about this overseas trip. I guess before we even get to talking about the games, talk about a little bit of the experiences and what you guys got to see. Obviously, there's a lot of historical value in what you guys saw on the trip.
Mm-hmm. So the first half of the trip was in Dakar, Senegal. That was probably like my favorite trip. It was just humbling to see like what the locals like go through and how they persevere with the little that they had. They were just always happy. That was like the biggest thing I saw. Like every person I saw outside the hotel, they were just happy. When we did our beach workout, it was just amazing to see like how hard they worked with what little they had, and like yeah, that was probably my favorite part. And then we went to Portugal. Portugal was beautiful. We stayed in Algarve. We were in Lisbon for a little bit, and I think it was called like Cascais or something. It was really fun. Just going out to the beach every day, waking up next to the beach. It was a great experience.
Piggybacking off that a little bit, I know you're talking about the beach workouts. I know Pikel said you guys were doing push-ups on like a tire basically at one point.
Yeah.
What was that kind of experience like? And then also was TJ and like Brandon Knight able to keep up with you in these workouts? I saw the videos. It seems like they could.
Yeah, TJ was going crazy. The instructor was pushing him to his limits. And yeah, we had like a burnout push-up contest. Everybody was doing that. It was really fun.
So who won?
Shoot. I think it was our trainer Rich.
Oh, that makes sense.
I think it was J Mike too. J Mike.
Oh, really? J Mike. No shit.
Yeah.
How cool is it to see some of your teammates like Cliff and new teammate Emmanuel Agbol and Antonio Chol, and I know that Nwat Mag's from Africa, but he grew up in Australia. How cool is it to see those guys back in their home? Well, it wasn't their home country, but I'm sure that they don't get to continent. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
They don't get to go back to Africa that often, I'm sure. And so, Did they have a lot of stuff they wanted to show you guys when you were there?
Yeah. One of the biggest things Cliff and Emmanuel was talking about was jollof rice. And It's popular in Nigeria, but I found out that it's originally from Senegal. So they were just telling me like just small stuffs about Africa, and yeah, I think Cliff hasn't been back to Nigeria. It's been like 7 years, I think. So he was just happy to be back in Africa, and it was funny because people kept coming up to Mawat and asking if he was Senegalese, because they said that he looked like he was from there. But that was just fun to see.
That's awesome. And you had some big scoring games in this international trip. I think you led the team in scoring each game. What's the main difference in terms of the offense that you guys are preparing for this season than last?
One thing that Coach Pike's been harping on is just playing better in transition. Getting whoever's open, just get them the ball. And I feel like this trip was like a good preview of what's going to happen during the season. But yeah, I really like this team a lot. It's unselfish. We were shooting the ball a ton, and we got Big Cliff in the paint, and Wolf to rebound on all the misses. So it's going to be really fun.
So tell me a little bit about the competition out there. Just because game 1 you had a near triple double, game 2 you had 18 and 8. Like, what is it? Was it not good competition, or was it actually competitive?
It was good competition. I feel like the game in Senegal, that was probably like the hardest game. It was our hardest game, but it was just like the conditions we had went on a hike or something a couple hours before the game. We were exhausted. The gym was hot, and it was like I feel like that was like our just seeing us like claw back and just persevere and try and get the win. It showed a lot for the team, and I was just happy to get the win.
Yeah, so I heard there's like, go on.
Say it again.
So there was like no air conditioning. I heard in that first
No
arena at all.
They had windows at the top of the arena, and then they had fans through each window, and that was the air conditioning.
So you're saying if they turn off the AC in the rack, you're going to drop 37-6 every game, or like I'm just curious.
I hope so.
The rack used to not have AC until Pike got there.
Hear me out.
Like
turn it off. Yeah. Turn it off, and look what happens.
Yep. Well, speaking about things getting hot, let's talk about Coach Smoke. Obviously Rutgers has had like a pretty solidified staff under Pike. Thanks. But you guys lost Carl Hobbs in the offseason. You replaced him with Marlon Williamson. Tell us a little bit about him, because we haven't really heard a lot about him as a coach since he arrived on the Banks.
Yeah, he's a great dude. Whenever you need like advice, he'll be right there. He's really communicative. Smoke, he's a character. He's always joking. He reminds me of B Knight, like older B Knight. So he's been a great addition. He's someone you could easily talk to, and it's great having him around.
I hear him and B Knight are tight. Like they go to the pit together. Are they just super close? Yeah,
they're super close. Yeah.
Awesome. So I know we talked a lot about the offense and how it's going to be different this year. What about the defense? Because you are losing Caleb McConnell, who's the 2-time Big Ten Defensive Player of the Year, and I guess Mag you lost a little bit because he's still recovering a little bit.
Yeah, I feel like that's going to be not our biggest thing to worry about, but like defense is going to play an important part. And since being a part of the program the past 2 years, I don't think it's anything to harp on. I feel like we'll eventually get to where we need to be. And I think it's going to take some time, but we got the whole preseason to work on it, and I feel like we're going to be in a good space.
Awesome.
So we have a lot of newcomers to the team coming into this season. I'm just going to go one by one. You just give me a few thoughts on each newcomer. How's that sound?
Okay, sounds good.
All right, let's start with Noah Fernandez, the guy who transferred in out of UMass.
He's a floor general. He's really good in a pick and roll situation. And he's a great finisher too. That was surprising. He can finish well around the rim.
How about Gavin Griffiths?
Sniper, and I found out during the trip that he's a little bouncy too. He was throwing down some windmills and stuff in warm-ups.
Really?
That's what Pike was saying. He interviewed with Aaron Brightman, and he said you guys haven't had as athletic of a wing in his time at Rutgers. Would you say that's pretty accurate?
Yeah, I think that's accurate. It's surprising too. Like I didn't think he could jump like that, but he's gonna catch some people.
Yeah, he also said that he expects 15 to 18 points a game from him. So he's got some high goals for the freshman.
No, he's really good.
That's awesome. How about Emmanuel Ogbol?
So he's been rehabbing since he's got with the program. So I haven't really gotten to see like what he could do, but just seeing him attack rehab every day and just getting ready and preparing for the season. So I feel like he's going to be in a good space.
The newest member of the program, Austin Williams.
Same thing. I don't think he's been eligible. I haven't seen him play, but just hanging with him off the court. He's just a great dude. I think he's a 6th year or 7th year. I think so. He's an older guy, so he has experience.
I think he's a 7th year. Yeah, he's one of those the last people taking advantage of multiple injuries and and the COVID year.
Mm-hmm.
How about Jeremiah Williams?
I haven't. Same thing with him. He's coming off an injury. I'm not sure what he injured, but that's my guy. He was my roommate during the trip, so it was just fun bonding with him and just seeing what he's like off the court. I'm excited to see what he'll do when he returns.
And the last one, Jermichael Davis. What do you think of him?
He's going to be really good. He's like a sleeper. Like he's a really good point guard. He's shifty. He gets to the basket, and he has some springs too. He could jump. He could shoot it. He can do a little bit of everything. And he's a pest on ball. He's a great on-ball defender.
It seems like Pike has like one of these types of guys each class that he brings in, which might not have like the accolades that the other guys, but they just work out every time.
Yeah.
I want to ask you about that in his defense. How would you compare his defense to say like Jacob Young or Caleb?
I say Jacob Young because he's like quick and fast. You know,
Mhm.
Caleb's like he's not like the most athletic, but he's always in the right spots and he has quick hands. So I feel like he's more similar to Jacob Young because he's just always quick. He's always going to be into the ball. He's pick up 94 feet. He's a quick guard.
So is Caleb going to be pissed when I tell him you said he's not that athletic?
I hope not. I hope not. That's my guy. That's my guy.
Oh, jeez. But anyway, Rutgers had so you guys had 3 graduate players on the roster heading into the offseason. 2 of them left. Obviously, you stayed. What made you decide to stay based on the way the portal is and everything works nowadays? What was your biggest reasoning for staying?
I feel like the biggest reason for me was just like betting on myself. I feel like my past 2 seasons at Rutgers, they've been decent, but I feel like if I like lock in and just stay consistent and give everything I have, I feel like it'd be my best season here. And I want to go out with a bang and use this year to prepare for when I want to go play professionally. So that was my biggest reason. And I love this team. I love Pike. I love the staff. And I feel like this is probably going to be the best team for me to just show everything I could do, score defensively, and just lead the team. That was one of the biggest things, just preparing to be a leader. That was one of the biggest things that drew me to come back.
So you've had 2 former teammates at Rutgers now make it to the NBA, and Ron Harper Jr. and Caleb McConnell. What have they told you as you prepare in your final season? And you obviously you just said you want to play professionally. What have they kind of told you to work on to be a professional basketball player in the future?
The biggest thing they talk about is just finding one thing and excelling at that. One of the things I'm going to be working on, continue to work on, is just catch and shoot. I want to be one of the best catch and shoot guys in the country in the Big Ten. So that's one thing I'm going to be working on. I want to be a better rebounder, better wing rebounder. So those are the 2 things, offensively, defensively, I'm going to be working on for the season.
So we know Jersey Mike's is obviously such a hard place to play at. You played at MSG. What is the hardest arena other than Rutgers that you've had to play at so far?
Hardest arena.
The loudest, hardest to just concentrate. I know they're all pretty loud.
I want to say Purdue, and Purdue and Michigan State. Michigan State was crazy. It was loud. So Purdue and Michigan State.
Okay.
Yeah, how good did that feel taking home that win last year at Mackey? Because that was a super tight game. Yeah.
So great. It always feels good bringing down number 1. So yeah.
Yeah, it's wild how it's become like a yearly thing for Rutgers.
Hopefully
we'll have to keep it going this year.
Going.
Yep. So obviously you ended up at Rutgers after transferring from LSU. How close were you to coming to Rutgers out of high school? Was it like a 1A, 1B thing between Rutgers and LSU?
Yeah, it was a 1A, 1B thing for sure. I had them in my top 3. It was between LSU and Rutgers. And I made a decision to go to LSU, and then thankfully I made the better decision to come back and go to Rutgers.
Yes. So
was Will Wade the coach there when you committed originally? Okay, gotcha. So there was a lot of turmoil there. It made sense to kind of head out of there when you did. Yeah.
You kind of entered the portal before it got all crazy like it is nowadays. But how was that process like?
It was a smooth process. Coming out of the portal, I think it was Texas A&M, Penn State, and Rutgers. I already had my heart set on coming to Rutgers and coming back home. Mm-hmm. So I talked to those schools, and then ultimately I made a decision to come to Rutgers. It was a smooth process, though.
Awesome.
We talked a lot about the newcomers and young players. What player would you say on the team has made the biggest strides from last year, other than yourself?
I think it's Antoine Wolf. I think it's Wolf. He's gonna surprise a lot of people. He's a strong guard. Not strong guard, strong forward. He can handle. He can really pass, rebound, and he finishes around the rim at an elite level.
Yeah, because this is really the first year he's been 100% playing basketball. Like he was a football player coming out of high school. I think Pike said he's lost a lot of weight this offseason. Yeah. What would you say in his game has improved the most?
Passing, and his decision making in the post. I think that's took a huge leap from last year around this time.
So now you called him a forward, and I found that interesting. So mostly he played the 5 last year, just backing up Cliff. Do you think he can play next to Cliff, like no issues? I know he did in I forget which game it was, the one of the Portugal games.
I think it was the first game of Portugal. He started at the 4. At the beginning of the game, it was like kind of weird because he kept running in transition, he kept running to the basket, and Coach Pike kept telling him to run to the corner and stuff. Mm-hmm. So I think it's gonna take some time, but I think he'll fill out. He's capable of playing the 4 because he's been working on his shot this summer. So I think he'll able to fit at the 4 spot as well.
That's what I was gonna say. Does he have enough of like a mid-range / outside game to kind of space the floor a little bit with Cliff down low?
Yeah, I think so. I think so.
But not as good as an outside game as like say, I don't know, 7 of 15, right?
He's getting there.
All right. So you got to teach him a little bit.
Yeah, that's my guy.
All right, we got some fun questions now for you.
Right.
What was the vibe like in the room when Pike walked in with a hammer and just starts going after his phone?
The first thing I thought was like, what the hell's wrong with this guy? Why is he smashing his phone? But like in hindsight, looking at it, he just wanted us to block out the noise and just focus on winning. And I feel like everyone in the room got that concept. So I guess it worked out.
Yeah, no, it seemed like almost immediately you guys had a new energy behind you.
Yeah, just seeing him so passionate about winning and him sacrificing his own phone. You know how important he is. It just showed that he'll do anything to win. I think we caught on to that.
Does he still talk about his hatred for like cell phones and social media and all that? Like it seems like every interview.
Yeah, every meeting he says we're attacking our phones. We need to get rid of them, focus on something else, and communicate with each other or something like that.
Damn,
yeah,
it's crazy.
Yeah, that interview with Brightman, he brought it up as like one of the nice things about going abroad is like let people it's at least in Senegal people had less phones and so it wasn't like as big of a distraction.
Yeah, it forced us to actually talk to each other. So
forced you. Don't want to hear you say that. So you've played a couple years now as a Scarlet Knight. What's your favorite moment playing for Rutgers?
Definitely Ron's game winner at the rack at Jersey Mike's.
Mm-hmm. You have a favorite moment off the court, or
say it again?
You have a favorite moment off the court too? Obviously, the Purdue one's like everyone's favorite moment on the court, but
off the court, I don't know. I probably got to get back on that. I don't really. Know.
So I do want to kind of dig into that moment a little bit further because obviously Gio, he had missed that game. I think he had the flu that night. So everybody was just kind of expecting Rutgers to not really stand a chance, at least nationally. We as Rutgers fans all know that like any game at the rack, Rutgers has a good shot at. Mm-hmm. What was it like being on the court for that shot? Like, did you have to kind of do a double take to make sure that it actually went in? Because
actually,
it was a clean shot.
I was on the bench. I was coming off of a flu too. So I played. I think I played like 8 minutes or something that game. So I'm sitting on the bench. I think one of their guys had hit a layup to go up by 1.
Yep.
So I'm thinking like, damn, we lost this game. And then I see Ron just dribbling up the court. He did like a Euro at half court, just threw it up. I'm like, no way, this is going in. It hit the bottom of the net. I'm like, what? Everyone started rushing the court. I'm literally just sitting there like, what just happened? Like, did we really just do this? So that was like a surreal moment for me. And just watching Ron in that moment was crazy.
Because Ron, I think with like 15 seconds left, hit like a turnaround, and then Purdue brought the ball up. And then Travion Williams backed down Cliff and was able to bank in a shot. And we only had 3 seconds, no timeouts, and the clock was running. And man, I still watching it every time. It's just I'm shocked each time I watch it goes in. Oh yeah. Probably one of the best moments in college basketball in the last decade, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I agree.
I'm not trying to get you in trouble or anything here, but what was it like afterward? We're not talking about the locker room. We're talking about going home, back to the dorms. Is Ron still just in awe, screaming the whole time, or?
Yeah, it was crazy. Locker room. We were in the locker room. It was just loud. I think we poured water on Ron or something. It was just crazy. I remember all my friends calling me like, "What just happened? What just happened?" Like, y'all just took down number 1. And it was the first time that it ever happened for me. So it was just crazy.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Who would you say is the funniest guy on the team?
Emmanuel.
Really? So
Really?
new guy.
Yep. I say, yeah, he was one of the funniest. Like, it doesn't matter what, like, his humor is like, it comes so naturally. Like, he doesn't force it. So I think that's what makes it.
Who would you say is the biggest shit talker on the team? Like they're gonna hit a three in your face, and they're gonna make you know that they hit a three in your face.
I want to say Antonio Cho.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? A couple of young guys on this. Okay.
Yeah, I want to say
Interesting.
Cho.
We didn't mention him again in the newcomers, but he is kind of a newcomer because he redshirted last year.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us a little bit about his game and what he brings to the table.
He's a little like Gavin. Like, you can't, like, when you're guarding him, you can't have a hand down because it's a quick release. And like, he's never seen a shot that he doesn't like. So if he catches it, it's going up. So yeah, that's Cho for you.
And he's a big guy too. He's 6'8", 6'9".
6'8", yeah. So he shoots over people. It's hard to guard.
That's wild.
Yeah. So I think the last one I got for you is if you're in the locker room and you could pass the aux to anybody, who are you giving it to and why?
I'm gonna have to go with Derek Simpson.
Oh, that's a quick one.
He has a good little playlist. He plays different versions. So I think he's into like Philly rap right now. So yeah, I'm not a big fan, but it's growing on me.
Might have to take it away from him
Yeah.
then.
All right, you got anything you wanted to talk about or plug or any questions for us before we head out of here?
Make sure y'all get some Big Cinco merch. Link is in my Instagram bio. And yeah, I'm excited about this season. It's gonna be a new look Rutgers. A lot of threes going up. Same defense. And I'm excited. We're gonna make some noise this year.
Yeah, we'll put a link to the Big Cinco merch in the episode notes and on the board too. And really thank you for coming on, Aundre.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Good luck this year. We all got high hopes. I think this is a tournament team, even though we have had a lot of new additions, but we have a lot of really high level guys coming back like yourself. So thanks again for joining us. And this has been another edition of the Night Report podcast. Signing off. All right, guys. We're going to rerun. Thanks, Chet. We're going to rerun the RFund ticket giveaway because the CSFI actually ended up purchasing tickets in between the time of saying he wanted to do the contest and this contest being run. So he said just to let the wheel decide the second person. We're going to run it twice, actually, in case the same thing happens again. So the first person to win it will have first dibs, and if they also don't want them, we will give them to the second dibs. So without further ado, I removed CS5 from the list from yesterday. Let us run it again.
Let's see. I'm going to go with, it's going to be Tico, because that was the last name I saw. I'm just guessing. Imagine if I get it right, I'm going to be shocked.
Oh my God. Life for Fitness 428. Life for Fitness 428. Congratulations. You are the winner of the RFund opening day ticket giveaway. 2 tickets to the Rutgers Northwestern game. And in the event that Life for Fitness 428 can't make it, the tickets will go to none other than Chop You.
Chop You.
All right. So there it is. All right, guys. Thanks again for watching. And go Rutgers.
Ooh.